fast to dreams. For if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams. For when dreams go, life is a barren field, frozen with snow.
Lots of oranges, half the sugar, 1,000% delicious. That's simple math. Say yes to simple.
We talked to Congressman Troy Carter. He, of course, is a member of Congress, the only African-American in the Louisiana delegation. We dropped by this massive party that is held every single year at Generation Hall. He, of course, in the past, Congressman Cedric Richmond had a party. I ran into some friends. That's my girl, Christine Granville, out of Atlanta. And so so many people we saw last night at the party, had a fantastic time. Y'all know I had to go ahead and get it in on the stage. We were dancing, having a good time. But we did, it's called a party with a purpose. And so we did talk a little purpose with a man, Congressman Troy Carter. And so we talked about politics. We talked about economics. We talked about the importance of this festival. We also had a little conversation about the power of black love. Here is my conversation with the Congressman. I understand.
Always good to be with you.
Indeed. Well, I see you folks getting here early this year.
Oh, yeah. You know, people have been so waiting on the moment to get back to Essence, to get back to New Orleans. And after 2 years hiatus, you can see people are very happy. Very glad to see you, brother. Always good to be with you. Folk out having a good time, enjoying Essence, good, clean, fun, partying with a purpose. A party, but yes, a party that talks about what we need to do to lift up our people, to fight against the evils that's going on with the Supreme Court, to fight against those efforts to turn back the clock. It's a good time.
And one of those evils, I mean, the way it should be going down, you should be having a second black colleague after November, and what the Supreme Court did was truly foul.
Absolutely. Listen, math is math. You can split, dice this any way you want. We've got 6 members of Congress, and we are 1/3 of the state. Should be 2 members. There should be
2 black members.
2 black members in the United States Congress from Louisiana. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, this Supreme Court has dealt us yet another dirty hand, and we're going to continue to fight. And what I tell people all the time is, don't let this lull you to sleep. Let this energize you to come out, to vote, to push. The more they try to move the ball, the more they try to take away our rights, the more we have to fight. The more we have to get to the ballot box, because elections have consequences, and we're seeing them manifest themselves right now.
Well, one of the things that I was just the other day, Gary Chambers I think it was doing a radio interview, and he said that New Orleans, Monroe, and I think one other city, literally the black turnout was from 20 to 36%. And what I've been saying is, in these places where our folks are, we've got to get that number to 50, 55, 60. We do that, we can run elections. And so what is it going to take to get, again, that black number above 50%?
Let me tell you, I think the Supreme Court action on stripping the rights of women, their reproductive freedoms, and the right to choose is going to backfire, and it's going to mobilize people to come out and vote like never before. When you hear Senator Cornyn from Texas who says we should revisit Brown v. Board of Education, we should revisit Plessy versus Ferguson, the separate but equal doctrine, man, if that doesn't get your attention, nothing does. We need to energize and come out, and I believe come November, you're going to see a turnout like we've never seen before. We have to stay angry, we have to stay hungry, we have to stay laser focused on making sure we did what Georgia did.
Right.
We picked up 2 Senate seats that we weren't supposed to get. Now we've got to go after those who don't understand the basic decency of serving people. Get them up or get them out.
I'm glad you mentioned Georgia because I've seen some numbers that estimate that there are 300,000 unregistered but eligible African Americans in Louisiana. And so is there a movement here to create a new Louisiana project like Georgia did to go after those folks, to touch them where people have been, frankly, not talking to them, ignoring them, to activate that base? That's what changed Georgia.
And let me tell you, we don't need to recreate the wheel. I was with Nikema Williams today, who's my dear friend and colleague in Congress, and who is chairman of the Democratic Party. And I talked to our Democratic Party leaders and said, listen, let's borrow a page from their playbook. We don't have to recreate the wheel. We've just got to take the method that they use.
And they got to cut the check.
Energize our people, raise the money, and the party has to weigh in. Louisiana is not a lost cause. We used to be blue, and we can be blue again. But it's going to take the kind of effort that we saw happen in Georgia. I'm totally confident in our Democratic Party here in Louisiana to energize and get people going. But we got to do it together.
Now, that's blue. Let's talk black. And so one of the things that what I have been saying is that when you look at this festival, it speaks to black collective in terms of economics. And what I am constantly saying is we should be looking at this period, this post-George Floyd period, as a third Reconstruction. If we're not having a money conversation, we're not having a real conversation.
That's right. I had a conversation today with Secretary Buttigieg of Transportation. And I said, listen, we got $1.2 trillion, the largest infrastructure package since the creation of the interstate system. Now, how do we take that and utilize and make sure that we have African Americans that are part of the mainstream and making some money, being a part of design, road build, the whole 9 yards? We're getting there, and we got to keep pushing, because the last thing we can afford to have happen is we have the largest infrastructure bill passed and black folk not have an opportunity to partake. We've missed the boat if that happens. We're not going to let that happen.
And that's the thing with us getting 1.67% of all federal contracts. And my deal is, look, we moved that to 3 to 5 to 10. All of a sudden, you go now from $9 billion annually to $56 billion annually. I'm like, that changes our community and changes black-owned businesses.
That is the kind of life-changing opportunities this infrastructure bill, Build Back Better, and all of the other efforts that the Biden administration is pushing and this Democratic caucus is pushing. Because it's not about a stimulus that's a one-time pop. It's about the life-changing opportunities through education, economic development opportunities. That's what changes things.
So I'm going to ask this question here that speaks to this festival. In your own words, explain what black love feels like when folks are here, whether it's a party, whether at the festival, in this city, in the restaurants, and just what does that feel like, black love?
It's an unconditional, unexplainable, from the heart, deep, the essence of love. When you look at all of these beautiful people that are here, that come from all over the world to enjoy the music, the culture, the food, and the party with a purpose. It's like when we had the Million Man March years ago, when people came together and there was a sense of belonging, a sense of love. We got to keep tapping into that. And as I say to our brothers and sisters, we've got to learn to talk more to each other and less about each other. We've got to commit ourselves to a new us, fight to uplift each other, put down the guns, put down the drugs. Let's love each other the way it's supposed to be, the way we did at Grandma's house on Sundays. That's where we are.
Well, for me, it was grandmother and grandfather's house.
There you go, brother.
I appreciate it. Thanks a bunch.
Always, man.
I appreciate it.
Thank
Thank you.
Made the simple way. With real lemon juice, 75% less sugar, and say yes to simple.
Hold fast to dreams. For if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams. For when dreams go, life is a barren field, frozen with snow.
Lots of oranges, half the sugar, 1000% delicious. That's simple math. Say yes to simple.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
Oh, no punches!
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?